NSI guys under Dr. Kelly Warden. We talked a little bit about the knife, we talked a little bit about impact weapons, tools, I should say, and the stick. In camp, Dr. did a lot of demonstration off the single Siniwali, and we did some 6 count. Well, all these drills are doing is just line familiarization, so we just want to see angles, because you'll start to see, if you watch the other video on the angles that we're taking on and using the impact tool, it's the same thing, just range changes, right? So we got single Siniwali, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's just a drill, right? Just doing each other up. We're sinking, we come down, we can move. Okay, so right there. Now on the 1, right? On the 1, if that comes, obviously we're practicing dealing with a stick, right? But here, this is my target. So when the 1 comes, I want to smash the hand right there, all right? Okay, depending on the range too, even if he pulls back in the 1 and I see it, I can come in too. So depending if I choose to crash the line, I just have to also remember I'm a little bit more inside, so I've got to deal with this too. But if he's preoccupied with that, smash that, I can check this, I can actually hold, and I can just finish. I can come in a little more with the puño. Okay, yeah, he can give me that too, take that, right? So the main thing is recognizing these angles, because that can be an overhand right, big old punch. I can come in, I can deal with that, I can crash in, okay, or I can let that go through and come back in. So what the stick does, and what we're trying to do is train our brain basically to recognize these angles. So if I can deal with that stick at that angle, from coming at me fast, swing, good, swing, 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 yeah, keep going, just 1 and 2, let's go. Boom, okay, go. So I'm looking at the angles, I can deal with that, pop, all right, so, that teaches our footwork, it really forces us to move our feet, okay. So on the single Siniwali, whether I take that hand or not, that if I was empty-handed or had an impact tool, I just have to make that decision a lot more clear. I either fade back, if you had a tool, okay, then come in, or right when I see that movement, just like same way when we fight, just that you watching the center mass and looking at the little subtle movements he's about to load, he cannot throw a heavy strike without loading, all right? You're going to see that in his body movements. So we're facing each other, we're just doing this, I'm going to see that. So if we just go relax, it's real time, go. See right there, okay? See, I chose to step back, or the other way, and he didn't even load yet, but I could tell he was going to hit. So the timing, and I knew that was going to happen just by a couple of different things in his body language. Over time, when you drill and drill and drill, or you train with a lot of fighters, they give you a lot of key movements, that little subtle movement, that change of position, that weight. So when that happens, I come in, I smash that right away. I know I have to do with the hand anyway, so I hit, If you look at the video, it's the same thing. Nothing changed, So learning these lines on these angles, because that could be that could be a straight punch. Pop, it could be overhand right. Pop, okay? It could be a bladed hand. That could be anything, a bat, it could be anything. Or 2 fingers, because I'm really threatened by 2 fingers. So basically, when you look at these lines, you got also the number 2, okay? So, in the single Siniwali, 1, 2, right? Okay, so 1, 2, right there. So I beat him to it, okay? We talk about rhythm and timing in these beats. So you got your quarter note, okay? Into 8th note or 16th note, or 8th into a 16th. Either way you look at it. So from here, that's going to preoccupy him a lot, all right? Even if his stick still comes through, it's okay. I beat him to it, and it's going to shock him a lot. All I have to do from here on is do like a little bit of a witik, pop, which is, in my, from a fight perspective, a jab. This isn't the killer. It could be. I mean, from here, I can come up and thrust into him. So 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay, again. Look at my footwork, moving in. Again, 1. See, I'm right here. I can't get that 2. I'm getting a stick. Okay, you see the difference? So I can't emphasize enough in footwork. You've got to move. So from here, 1, 2, 3. I don't like being this close, so I'm just going to circle out. Check that at the elbow. Smash. or smash. If I'm in closer, punyo. Okay? And within what we do in NSI, we've got these punyo drills. Okay, so it actually helps us too to recognize these lines too. Okay, if he goes on the outside line, I see that coming in. See? Coming in. So he's gonna boom. And we just work on that line. Okay, it doesn't have to be punyo. Again, it could be something else. I could be like, oh crap. You know, initial reaction, roll. Okay? I could say, I'm hiding, right? It doesn't have to be a stick. I could use a stick, so if I'm a stick guy, whack, right there. That wouldn't feel good. Same thing. If I don't have a stick, go. Okay, again. Ooh, yeah, just blocking, just kind of this initial reaction, right? I can right here and hit, all right? So with the punyo drills that we have in NSI, we got 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, and then we got typical hubad, right? So that big outside strike. Just kind of just blocking right there, good strong structure. Taking that up, good check. Or checking in it, I should say. All right? So all these things can be, you can find these entry points too in the single Siniwali. So, right there. But that had to be footwork. If you don't have that footwork, you can't get entry points. So I keep resorting back to footwork, and maybe that's because I train a lot of fighters, but it also applies to stick and blade. Because even then, 1, so he just hits hard. Oh, and he keeps going to the single Siniwali. I gotta come in. Footwork is so key. So I'm gonna engage a stick, and it actually has happened in the stick fight that I was in. I actually lost my tool. So I became tool dependent. So I have to still learn. I've got options, you know, whether it's empty hand or not. Because even if he takes my stick out in a big strike, and for some reason, then he backswings, I can come in right away, okay? So you got to remember that too. So footwork, you know? That's the theme here. You know, there's so many cool disarms and whatnot, but if you can't even get inside, if you can't take out some things, I mean, these are other tools too, these long development, long range tools. You got your teeps, push kicks, right? Your round kicks, okay? If that stick comes through, I know this one here is a good long tool. I got my leg, right? Okay? I prefer it on the backswing because it opens him up. So, because he's loaded, yeah. Unless he does a swing and you're coming off this angle, that's more safer. But on the backswing, it opens up, boom, come in. Okay? Catch them on their weight, on their pre-rotated weight. While this swing right here is a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit more natural because you can backstep it. Okay? When you open up, it's a little different. So anyway, it's within NSI what we get, how we teach them, what we get out of it more. You know, you get all these cool different things, different angles and whatnot with a stick and a knife. But the concept behind it and the theory and application is so key, because when it comes down to it, you can drill 1,000 times, but if you don't kind of see beyond that in the bigger picture and come back in, so you got to kind of converge, diverge, and converge back in. That's where you're gonna get it. So I hope that helps. It's a little bit of what we do here in NSI, other than the basic stick, knife, empty hand stuff. We still throw a lot of boxing, some Muay Thai, some standing grappling, and that's what we're all about. All right, cool.